is Friday, March 19. Welcome to CGN News. Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse has declared a state of emergency in several areas of the country in an effort to stem the upsurge in crime. According to a decree adopted by the Council of Ministers, the state of emergency is instituted in crime-plagued areas for 1 month. During the period, certain rights can be suspended in neighborhoods to allow the police to regain control of the situation. The implementation of the state of emergency follows a plea by Haitian President to Secretary General of the United Nations Antonio Guterres on Tuesday. Moïse asked the UN for technical and logistical support for the police force in order to tackle crime and strengthen the poverty reduction program. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says that as of Monday, March 22, Jamaicans 75 years and older will be able to set appointments to receive the coronavirus vaccine by dialing 888-1-LOVE. He was speaking at the signing of a vaccine implementation contract with ITEL BPO Smart Solutions on Thursday. Through this contract, ITEL BPO will be responsible for providing outsourced call-in assistance services for those who require help with registration for vaccination appointments across the island. Tufton also instructed that persons should not attempt to make appointments by calling the number until the web-based appointment system is launched next Monday. The Caribbean community, Caricom, on Thursday accredited the first ambassador of Kenya to the regional body. Caricom Secretary General Erwin LaRocque said the occasion added a new chapter to the 2019 milestone year when Kenya's president visited Jamaica and Barbados Prime Minister in turn visited Kenya. Caricom and Kenya are also actively considering a draft memorandum of understanding for the establishment of a consultation and cooperation mechanism between the two sides. This in recognition of the significant scope for stronger collaboration and cooperation, particularly in the areas of trade and investment, people-to-people exchanges, and sustainable development. Nicaragua's indigenous groups complained Thursday to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights about land takeovers and killings that have hit the Mosquito and Mayagna communities on the country's Caribbean coast. The commission, which is part of the Organization of American States, held the hearing by internet link due to the coronavirus pandemic. Indigenous activities and rights groups said there were 13 killings, 8 people wounded, and the forced displacement of one community in 2020 linked to land takeovers by non-indigenous settlers. The activists said the government of President Daniel Ortega has not done enough to address the problems in the jungle-clad coast, something his administration denied. Tanzania's soft-spoken Vice President Samia Hassan on Friday was sworn in as the country's first female president after the sudden death of John Magufuli. In her first public address as president, the 61-year-old leader announced 21 days of mourning for Magufuli and public holidays on March 22 and on March 25, the day the late president will be buried. Hassan ascended to the presidency after President Magufuli's death due to heart disease was announced by the government on Wednesday, more than 2 weeks after he was last seen in public. The U.S. House of Representatives passed 2 immigration bills Thursday that would provide legal status for millions of undocumented immigrants, but the measures have an uncertain future in the evenly divided Senate. Rather than trying to ram through comprehensive immigration reform similar to the massive effort that failed in 2013, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi opted for a different strategy. She aims to coax a pair of more modest measures through Congress and towards President Joe Biden's desk. Earlier Thursday, the White House endorsed the 2 bills, including one that offers a citizenship pathway for undocumented young people known as Dreamers, who were brought to the United States as children. U.S. and Chinese officials have exchanged sharp rebukes in the first high-level talks between the Biden administration and China taking place in Alaska. Chinese officials accused the U.S. of inciting countries to attack China, while the U.S. said China had arrived intent on grandstanding. Relations between the two superpowers are at their most strained for years. The U.S. has pledged to raise contentious issues such as Beijing's treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. The ill-tempered talks in Anchorage involved Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Secretary Advisor Jake Sullivan on the U.S. side, facing off with China's most senior foreign policy official Yang Jiechi and Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday mocked his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden, escalating a war of words between the two world leaders. Putin said it takes one to know one after Biden a day earlier said he thought the Russian leader was a killer. Biden made the comment on an ABC News interview when asked if he thought the Russian leader, who has been accused of ordering the poisoning of Alexei Navalny and other rivals, is a killer. Biden replied, "I do." Putin on Thursday retorted, "I remember in my childhood when we argued in the courtyard, we used to say it takes one to know one." Following Biden's interview, Russia said it was recalling its ambassador for urgent consultations over the future of U.S.-Russia ties. And finally, dozens of people in Taiwan have changed their name to Salmon to take advantage of a restaurant's sushi promotion deal. Officials have issued a plea asking people to stop visiting government offices to request the name change, according to local media. The restaurant said anyone with the name Salmon on their ID card could get free food for themselves and 5 friends. It led to dozens of people requesting name changes, the Taipei Times reported, adding that applicants pay around $3 for a new ID card and a registration certificate. According to the newspaper, one student said she had changed her name to Quo Salmon Rice Bowl. Other salmon-themed names included Salmon Prince, Meteor Salmon King, and Salmon Fried Rice. Officials issued a reminder that names can only be changed legally 3 times. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.